Hi, my name is Douglas Arellanes, and I'm one of the founders of SourceFabric, and I'm also a DJ and an audio enthusiast. I have a radio show here in Prague, and I love everything related to radio and audio and airtime. And about a year ago, I had a post on the sourcefabric.org blog related to a streaming tool that allows you to use your iOS device with Airtime. That tool, an app called Papaya, unfortunately is no longer made. And so I decided instead to update your opportunities or your options related to using your iOS device with Airtime. So let's go through a couple of the different options. But first, before we do that, I wanted to explain a little bit about what you can do with your iPhone or your iPad with Airtime. The first thing is that there are apps that stream from your iOS device using the iCast protocol. They connect to Airtime, and then Airtime streams out from there, specifically to your iCast server. What it means in real life, though, is that you can broadcast from anywhere where you have a signal, which is cool because you can use the microphone, which is built in on your iPhone, or you can connect up with either a professional microphone or with a soundboard. So, for example, if you're at a club and you've got a DJ set and you want to go live, you can do that. If you're at a breaking news, in a breaking news situation, you can go out and report live from the scene. And this works with anywhere where you have a good connection, a good enough connection. Usually this is Wi-Fi, 3G, or better. Specifically LTE. And if you have a good microphone, then good on you. Then you're ready to go. So while they don't make Papaya Broadcaster anymore, there are three that I tested and I want to talk about today. The first one is called Koala San. That costs $5.99 US. iCast Pro is the second one, which costs $4.99. And the third one that I tested is called LiveShout, which is free. So Koala San has versions both for Android and iOS. Koala San broadcasts or streams in three different formats, two of which are relevant to us as Airtime users, AAC and Ogg Vorbis. Koala San also streams in Opus, but at least out of the box, your Airtime, or especially your Airtime Pro, is not supported. What's cool about Koala San is that if you're in a situation where you need to adjust your bitrate, you can. That's important for situations where you don't have a very fast connection and you still want to be able to broadcast. One of the cooler features about Koala San, and one of the things that I really like about it, is that you have this dump feature, which takes everything that you've been streaming and turns it into a file, which you can then use for rebroadcast or possibly for editing and reuse later. Also, another really nice feature about Koala San is that it shows you how much bandwidth you've been using. And that becomes especially relevant when you're doing a long broadcast from somewhere using 3G or using LTE or whatever, and your mobile bill, especially if you don't have a very big data plan, that can get kind of expensive. And so watching the bandwidth stats is really pretty useful. Setting up Koala San was pretty easy. It was very straightforward, especially when I used the Airtime manual to learn or to know what I need to change, and it worked pretty much out of the box. The second tool that I checked or tried out was called iCast Pro. iCast Pro has two codecs, either AAC or MP3, and both of those work just fine with Airtime and Airtime Pro. Again, when you have a slower connection, you can adjust the bitrate. You can bring down the sound quality a little bit, for example, which is pretty nice. But what I found confusing about iCast Pro is that they had one button to connect to the server and then another button to actually talk. And I thought that that was particularly odd because I didn't understand why you needed two buttons. And so what it led to, in my case, was extra dead air coming over the stream. So The third one, though, that I tried was called LiveShout. And LiveShout is really simple. There's only one codec, which is Ogg Vorbis. It does have an adjustable bitrate, but I couldn't get it to work with my Airtime Pro instance because LiveShout only works on port 8000. Now, you might be able to change your self-hosted version of Airtime to use port 8000, but by default, Airtime Pro uses port 8001. And because I couldn't change it, sad trombone, wah, 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 I couldn't get it to work. So LiveShout was disqualified in this way. But the winner in this case was the KoalaSand, and it's one that I do recommend. We do like KoalaSand with Airtime, and I do think that it's a pretty useful app to have. Now, when you're setting up your app, it's always good to refer to the Airtime manual. And you can check the Airtime manual here at www.sourcefabric.org/en/airtime/manuals. So I hope this helps. I'm looking forward to seeing what you can do with your on-the-spot iOS streaming and your Airtime. Thanks a lot for listening and watching.